don't like talking in front of people, so yeah, but I can do it, I guess. I have to. Most of y'all know me. A lot of y'all know me. A lot of y'all know me from the back in the old days, and I was not a good person, dude. Not. I started using drugs when I was 19, and I started using drugs to stop having nightmares. It helped a lot, but then it turned into an addiction, and that addiction took my life over. I've been fighting drugs for 31 years. I'm 50. I just turned 50 last month. Um, Little did I know that addiction was going to turn into an adult fight for the rest of my life. I always turned to drugs. Anytime anything got rough in my life, that's where I went. I went straight to the drugs because it numbed what I thought it was numbing, and it stopped numbing. It stopped, so it just become a habit. And I put my children through terrible, terrible times. I lost my kids to DHS twice. I fought everything and got them back. Then I ran off and left them again, but I left them with their dad. And like I said, anytime I had a problem, drugs is where I went to. I've been married 4 times, divorced 4 times. And so marriage and me did not work back in those times at all. And now, I never knew how to deal with the emotions. I only learned to deal with them in the last 2 years. And Jesus does that. Reading my Bible and asking for help instead of running. That's where I've been for the last 2 years since I stepped off that Greyhound bus. This month I will be 2 years sober. And it's not even a thought in my mind anymore. Just the thought of it makes me want to throw up. It just makes my skin crawl. I wrote it all down, but I don't even know where I'm at on this paper no more. During my addiction, when my children were younger, I never realized how much trouble I was putting my kids through. They lived at the house, but we were still cooking dope, selling out of my house, with my children in the house. I thought that they didn't know. Later on to find out they knew. They wasn't dumb. My boys are not dumb by far. I thought I was a good parent because I was at home. I wasn't running the streets. They had clothes, they had food, they attended the school, they got everything they wanted. They didn't have me. And it took me a long time to forgive myself for that. Matter of fact, this year, when all 3 of them has told me they have forgave me, they include me in my grandchildren's lives, and I've got a bunch of them. Yeah, I've got several. One good thing about it all, my whole family's sober. First time ever. My brothers, my children, were all sober, and it's this last 2 years since I got off that bus, I went and lived with my cousin Chris, and he helped me stay straight. He got me a place to stay when I didn't know where I was going. My oldest son's dad, I texted him when I was in California, told him I wanted to come home, and he bought me my bus ticket, and I didn't look back, and I haven't looked back. And I'm included in anything that my children do. I was there when my grandbabies were born. They need a babysitter. They call Gammy. They don't call somebody else no more. They call me. I drop everything I can for my kids. And used to, I wouldn't. I'd have to decide what person needed what most. My kids are my friends, and it was always my friends. And I'm so thankful. My kids are so forgiving. They are. I've been clean off and on all my life, but this time it was different. When I got clean the last time, I had just got busted for drug trafficking in Sequoia County. I went on the run for 5 years, and I didn't want to come back here because I knew I was going to go to prison. But when I came back, I went to jail. I spent 2 months in Sequoia County. I got 10 years deferred with 4 years DLC probation. I had to go pee in the cup for them every month and drug test. This past October, I got off. I got off 18 months early. So I've had the same job for 2 years this January. I love my job. I got a good work family. Tammy. Tina's back there. And I couldn't have done it without Jesus. I couldn't. Chain Breakers, the song I listened to all the way from California, on repeat. People thought I was crazy. I'd be throwing my hands up in the air, dude. And I cannot sing at all. I'm singing on this bus, people looking at me, and I'm just off my own little world. And on that bus ride, I asked God to take the taste of drugs, because it turned into, I can't say it, a habit. I wanted it. I liked it. Just to take that taste from me so I wouldn't like it no more. He did that. We got to Tucson, Arizona. I had my pipe in my shirt. I went straight to that bathroom, crushed it, flushed everything I had in the toilet. Said if I wasn't giving my life to Jesus, I've been baptized twice in the last 2 years. This last time I got baptized with my grandson. And that melted my heart. That being baptized with Jedediah, him not really understanding what it was like, what it meant. He goes to church because of that day. He wants to know what it's like to love God. For God to be him. He's 10, dude. He's 10. And he wanted to do it with me. He thought it was something cool he could do with Gammy. And it brought us a little bit closer, I think. Because we got the same baptism date, you know. I remember January 2017 when my oldest grandson passed away. Right after I came back here, after we left the hospital, I was coming here. I was going to my mom's. Heath Cole was here then. And Heath was up here preaching. I remember walking up here and just falling right there. And I don't know. That was one of the hardest times that I ever had to face, was watching my son have to bury his baby. I started going to church after that here. Every time them doors was open, I was here. I said right about where Jennifer's sitting at now. But I was here. I wasn't doing what I'm doing now. I wasn't chasing it. I wasn't going after God. I wasn't reading my Bible, doing my Bible studies, talking to people about recovery or talking to people about God. I work at Grand Slam in Bacola. I refuse to sell dope pipes, instant burners. I won't sell them. I invite people to church. They turn around and walk out. Yeah, they turn around and walk out. You know, I've told a couple to tell me they'll come to church. I haven't seen them yet, but I'm not going to stop. I'm going to get them to come. Living in California was always my dream. It became my nightmare. I always thought California was pretty. It is pretty. And if you're on the right path, it might be a good place. But it wasn't for me. I went down the wrong path, way wrong path. I was running the streets, committing crimes, prostitution, selling drugs, dealing drugs, fighting. Just I'm not the person that I wanted to be at all. The person I am today, that's the person I want to be. The person I am today, that's who I want to be. Everything I have, I've worked for. I have 2 vehicles. I have my own place. I pay my own bills. Never in my life, and I said I'm 50, have I ever done that, ever. I always had someone else to do it for me. If I was in one relationship and I was tired of that one, I had somebody lined up. That's where I went next. I didn't think I needed anybody. I don't need anybody now, that's for sure. After I lost my mom, when I lost my mom, I was sober. I had a year sober. But when she died in 2017, I started drinking. I had a job, I had my own car. I was driving back and forth to work. I was drunk by the time I got to work at 11 o'clock. Then I'd be drunk before I got back home from Fort Smith to McCurtain. Losing her was the hardest thing I'd ever been through. But if she could see me now, I know she sees me now. Yeah, she's smiling. She's smiling down now. I know she is. Especially seeing all of our kids sober. Her tribe, as she used to call us. She's the white one of the bunch. So she called all of us her little tribe. This is one of the main reasons I came back to Oklahoma. December 2022, my youngest son had called me and told me he had a truck wreck. He was an over-the-road semi driver then, and some people in another vehicle had fell asleep across the center line, and his semi had ran him over. 3 of the 4 people that was on that in that truck had died. And Dakota had already lost 3 children, and I knew he told me his mental state, he didn't think he could do it. He don't think he could stay sober. It didn't take me long to get on the phone with Patrick and tell him I wanted to come home because I knew I had to be here for my kid. And if he can stay sober through all the heartache that he's been, I can stay sober for myself, for my kids. And this time around, it's been easy. Staying away from the drugs, it's been easy. I keep those people out of my life. I don't even talk to the ones in California anymore because they're still going down that same road. And if I know that God can do it for me, he can do it for anybody, dude. I was not a good person at all, at all. I was selfish, evil. I was so evil. I didn't care whose marriage I hurt. And that I'm truly sorry. I am. I didn't care whose family I hurt, much less my own. But I got that family back. I got that family back, but I got more. I got a bunch more family now. Yeah. If Jesus can forgive me of all my sins and bless me daily, I know he can to anyone that reaches for him. He is there. He never left me or you. I turned my back on God. God never turned his back on me. He was waiting for me to honestly and openly ask him to come into my heart and into my life and to free me of all my addictions, everything that I was into. And he took that all away from me. It's a different life with Jesus, y'all. It's a different life. My depression's gone. Apparently my anxiety's gone because I can talk in front of y'all. Yeah. I have some good people in my life. I do. I have y'all. I have them. My work family's there. I love my work family. They're good people. My boss, when I was in jail, he tried to bail me out. Well, you're on a no bond if you go flat for 4 years, 5 years. So, yeah, there was no bailing me out. I expected to go to prison. I did. I really did. I accepted that. I was ready to get it over with, get it done. By the time I was going to be going in, my son would be coming out. My son's been in prison since 2018. I applied to be able to go see him, and I got denied because I'm still on paper time. I got 10 years paper time. But that's not going to stop us. That's not going to stop me. It's not going to discourage me, because I know there's a reason that he told me no, that I can't go. I can't go see him. They just make the reunion even bigger when he gets out. He'll get out in 2026, and I don't know. If it wasn't for Jesus, I don't know where I'd be, y'all. I'd be on the streets of California dead. I know where I'd be. I'd be dead. I would. When times get rough mentally for me these days, I talk to God and explain to him that I cannot do it without him. And my anxiety eases, I rise up and continue, because I know I can do it, because he already has done the hardest part. He died for me. Can you imagine dying for someone? I am a child of God now. I am not an addict. I refuse to be an addict. And a Bible verse that I carried around with me both times I was in county jail. It was Jeremiah 17:14. Heal me, O Lord, and I shall be healed. Save me, and I shall be saved, for thou art my praise. And that's the only reason that I can say that I am saved. I gave my heart and everything that I am to God. I might not understand everything that I read in that Bible, but I got like 6 different Bibles. I got a baby Bible. I got a children's younger reader Bible. If I don't understand what that King James Version says, I break that one out. So I can compare them and I can understand what I'm reading. Like I said, if you knew me back in the day, I'm totally different. Totally different. I have compassion for people. I have compassion for myself. I love myself, dude. I didn't before. I didn't. I thought I did. I thought I loved myself. No, I don't. I love myself now. And I finally learned that I cannot do life on my terms. It doesn't get me anywhere but in trouble. I give glory to God for all that I am. I am so thankful for his gracious and forgiving that he gives to me and to anyone else that seeks him. Like I said, if he could take an old prostituted criminal and turn her into someone that chases God every day, that gets up every morning and thanks to be alive, because I used to pray to be dead. I used to want to just take me out of this world because I didn't want to be here no more. I want to be here. I want to be here when he comes back. I'm going to be standing first in line. When he starts calling people's name, call me first. Call me first. Call me. So if you don't have Jesus in your life, you're really missing out. You are. He can deliver and he can restore. He brought me and my 3 children back, my grandkids, my brothers. I got one more brother to go talk to, and I'm going to do that this weekend. Well, Jesus restored my family in so many ways. I don't know how to explain how it feels. It's warm. It's happiness. I actually have pure happiness these days. It's not fake. I can smile and be happy. I asked on Facebook earlier today, can you imagine what Jesus' voice sounds like? I hear it as a deep, calm, stern, loving. I don't know, I just hear his voice. I don't know how I hear it. It's hard to describe. It just gives me goosebumps thinking about hearing him call my name, dude. It's going to be so cool. So I'm not going to burn in hell. I'm going to heaven, honey. I'm going to heaven. I'm going to get to go to heaven and see my mama and both my daddies. You have to forgive the people that's in your life that has harmed you before. If not, you don't get nowhere. It took me a long time to realize that. I had to forgive the people of my past that started off my addiction. That's another story. But try not to cry. I hate crying. I cry every time I walk in those doors, though. Every time I walk in with makeup, and I walk out without any. Because it's usually smeared all over my toilet tissues or on my shirt sleeve. God's good, people. He's very, very good. Very good. You can have it back. I love y'all. Thank y'all.